So I'll be working in the context of Cyprus with George Gitis. He's a climate scientist and he's working on desertification and water scarcity within Cyprus. And for me it's really interesting because also it's building upon my body of work that is looking into techno-scientific transformations of agricultural land, and in a very similar context in Portugal, so working with these two extremes of Europe from the same latitude, but there are these kind of like climate frontiers of climate change. And it's really interesting how this opportunity helps me expand my approach, my methodologies in collaboration with scientists in different contexts, and kind of creating also correspondences between other territories and past works and future works.
I'm part of the collective Zikwa Pubalova, and we're two artists basically investigating how eating life works and the processes that we are inhabiting, but that also kind of process us. We came out of a collaboration where we worked on gut sounds, and now we continue this in Asturias with the local sounds and resonances.
I'm working with the team of Romania, and we're working about landscape. And in my project is all about the relations of body and landscape, and how the body transforms itself accordingly with the landscape that it inhabits. So I'm really curious to understand how all my body work and my own body is going to be transformed by a different landscape, and how that shifts the language and the identity. And I'm very excited to work with the scientists, because together we are going to discover this relationship and build testimonies of this process.
I'm part of the duo Zikwa Pubalova, and we are working together with Laborel in Asturias and scientist Felipe Lombo to explore fermentation practices in Asturias and metabolic acoustics and really like multisensory exploration of food, of fermentation, of microbial rhythms, and nutraceuticals. And I'm really excited about the kind of exchanges that are about to happen.
The theme of our project is about how the current digital simulation of environments distancing us from the reality. So in the beginning phase of my research, I'm trying to look into how we can, develop a more embodied way to understand the climate again, and how can we use multi-senses to develop a new relationship with the environment. So it's more like imagine our body as an internal climate, and how this internal climate can be influenced by the external climate and vice versa. So in the end, it's more like finding a symbiosis between the internal and external climates.
What excites me about working in the challenge of hybrid intelligences of Studiotopia is exactly to think of like the different ways we understand intelligence, and how we can also maybe shift the paradigmatic notion of that. And I'm approaching that in collaboration with plant scientist Marina Dermastia, and it's really interesting for me and exciting to learn from her and learn with her, and also from the plants that we are working with, to think of ways and sensitivities of perceiving the world differently, and also to challenge with their help the notion of artificial intelligence.
The challenge that I'm working with is the challenge of living surfaces, which looks at Earth imaging and systems which acquire data about the Earth, and kind of the disconnect between a more embodied experience of the planet and how this data is making us perceive the planet that we live on. My own project is looking at Earth imaging systems from above, at satellite systems, and sort of asking about the speculative possibility that satellites start lying to us about what they see on the ground. Speculative possibility in a way where the satellites will start lying to us, maybe for reasons that would help our planet survive, right? Lie to us because they feel grief towards the damage that they're seeing is being done on the ground, and how maybe those lies could trigger further political action on the ground. I'm particularly excited to learn more about the ways in which artificial intelligence systems become embedded in infrastructure at the policy level. The scientist that I'm collaborating with, Barry O'Sullivan, works with various EU policy bodies within artificial intelligence. And yeah, I'm excited to kind of tap into his expertise in order to inform the fictional narrative that I'm going to build.